Alright, I'm live this morning. Wait a minute or three, wait for everybody to get here. Since there's nobody watching. Okay, somebody's watching. I guess I should unmute the mic. Somebody was watching. Okay, 2 minutes with the dead air's enough. What if someone did a live stream and no one showed up? Oh, let me get my. Hey, somebody's watching. Good morning. Just kind of waiting for everybody to get here before we start showing the artwork. Hey, it's Rob. What's going on, man? Well, you're the one I wanted to make sure showed up before you started anyway. So nobody else is here, but we're going to go ahead and do this now. Sorry about all the throat clearing and crap. All right. I just picked up the file where we left off. We'll see if anybody joins us along the way. Looking at some Jim Lee layouts that were given to Richard Bennett for Wildcats 19. Still a pretty, I mean, you could just straight ink that, and not add anything at all, and that one would work. I think that Spartan's pretty close too. And Jim's stuff's so good, even when it's not finished, it's good enough usually. More layouts, part of a double page spread. So, pretty nice zealot. Um, and then this is from Wildcats 12. And I told you some of those guys came in and did finish pencils on this stuff. I guess this is what they were working at with for this. I don't know who finished these, but more Wildcats 19 layouts. Fire from Heaven. 2-page spread. By Jim Lee, if I'm not mistaken. More Jim Lee layouts from Wildcats 19. I don't want to miss that last panel either. I love that expression on her face. So, yeah, everything you need here. If you just got an inker that's going to come in and texture it all the structures are all there. Okay. More Wildcats 19. Take a look at that shot, that zealot right there. good one. I think Jim Lee was the only one that could draw them all properly. Yeah, yeah. That's why I always tell everybody, like, okay, the layouts kind of look like a Jim Lee coloring book. You know, like it's still Jim Lee. It's just stripped down. Oh, here we go. Um, since we can do a side by side of these, I'm gonna. Uh, sorry. You can sort of here. You're just gonna have to do this one at a time. Richard's inks, and then that's what Jim gave him, which is all still very much there, like we were talking about, but lots of room for Richard to do stuff too. And he did. So, you know, oh, hey, these are Brett Booth trading cards from the Wildstorm set. Well, a trading card and a layout for a trading card, both by Booth. I inked that Voodoo. No, it's not Voodoo. What's her name? Oh shit, I don't know. How long has Richard been? Well, let's see. Um, I got there probably around the time that they were doing Wildcats 9. And I think Richard Bennett had worked on issue 7 or something already. So it hadn't been long, but you have to remember, too, that the amount of expertise that Richard Bennett had already coming into the studio. My understanding is he started assisting for Eduardo Barreto in Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, from like the age of 15. And he went from assisting Eduardo Barreto to working for Neil Adams over at Continuity Studios, and then came to Wildstorm. So this was a guy that, even though he's about the same age that I am, he had, you know, a decade's worth of serious professional kind of level experience. And not to mention, the most important part, can you bring the goods? And he could. Man, could he ever. So I dig that Bragg Booth layout. I got to ink. I got to ink both these cards, but as was my practice, I would always take a photocopy of the pencils when I was about to ink. So when I inked this, this was still this way, and then I turned the card in, and he finished this one, and then I came back and inked that. So it was kind of cool to see it because you get an indication of how it's going to go as it come across. It all connects. The background all connects when it's finished. So mm, is that two-page spread we were looking at before. Richard's finishes. Ah, let's see if I can get rid of that big white line there in the center so bad. There we go. Anyway, um, just looking at this Richard Bennett stuff, see the textures and stuff, the way he, Jim gave him lots of cool stuff as far as the gear goes, and then Richard found a way to take it to another level. We were looking at this page just a minute ago. This shot of Zealot. There. Ah, the fan's kind of competing with me here a little bit. Oh, I love this set of grads up here where he's got her lips going on. That little shine down here at the bottom. Crazy. It makes her lips look glossy though. And that's what he's going for. The reflections in the glasses. I guess they cloned it and on the computer and stuck it over in that one. But yeah, I studied this stuff for days. Especially textures like he had going on in this moon. I love the way he does stuff like that. Or did. I don't know. I haven't seen him do, storyboards. Doesn't require the same level of finish that he was doing here. Oh, hey, here we go. We were looking at that before. So, oh, hey, Johnson. I'm glad you showed up. So far, it's just been me and Rob looking over it. But I know he's the one who's really kind of chomping at the bit to look at these for a long time. I've been talking about it. And then I had so many camera problems that we couldn't do anything. So, um, I think I pulled this one out last time. It's a pinup they did in one of the source books or something. This stuff we hadn't looked at though. I don't have the layouts for most of those from see, this is Wildcats 8, and I think they were on issue 9 or 10 when I got to the Wildstorm. I want to say something like that. Um, so yeah, I'd already seen this stuff. All this detail in the alley. See if I can get that fan off me a little bit. It's not blowing around the artwork so much. I mean, I know it's hot, but more Richard Bennett finishes. And I was studying everything that I could. Like I was looking like okay, the next time I go to do wood, I'm going to do wood, something like that. Well, I'm glad there's still fans out there of it. I'm glad there's still fans out there of the '90s stuff. I thought it was pretty cool, but I have a pretty biased viewpoint. I feel lucky to have been involved with it to the degree that I was. Yeah, see, I was studying stuff from Richard, especially like beard stubble like this is way harder than you think because you want to get a certain pattern going on and you want to keep it even in tone and you want to make it shade around in some places. Yeah, if you don't do that right, it can look like a bunch of ants crawling on his face. And Richard could really do it. See, stuff like this. I'm studying the way Richard was doing stuff like that. Little background textures. Because you just get an indication of it in pencil and you go, okay, now I know they put this down, but what do they want? Because you can't get the same thing in pencil that you can get in ink. That's why you ink. I love the use of Zipatone. I don't think I have much in the way of Travis Charest. I definitely don't think I have any in this pile. I could be wrong. You know what? Maybe I am wrong. There might be some Travis Charest in here. Um, if it is, it's real early stuff. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I've got any in this pile. I don't know. We might be surprised. There's a lot of stuff in this pile, but I think it's mostly Richard Bennett stuff this time that I've got. Um, and being an inker, stuff like the textures on this wall and stuff like that was stuff like I was really studying heavily. Yeah, I've got some. I know I've got some photocopies of his Wildcat special someplace, but probably not in this pile of stuff. I would have to run across that again. This is some of the finishes that Richard did over the issue of Savage Dragon that Jim Lee did, which everybody hates, but I love it because I remember looking at it like this. Hey, someone saying, "What's up?" Um, yeah, this is how I remember seeing that artwork. So to me, everybody bagging on that, okay, it's a pretty bad Savage Dragon issue. I'll give you that. If you're a fan of Savage Dragon, it's definitely a big change in the programming. Uh, but just from an original art perspective, I thought it was really cool. Um, Page from Brass #1. I don't even know how you do the stuff that he was doing back then. It was crazy. I don't even know how you do it. More detailed stuff like door locks. You know, I know that distorted panel through the, you got to remember this is before the days of the computer. So again, I don't even know how you do that. I don't even know how he did that. Gun to my head, I couldn't do that analog, not to save my life. Oh, I love this stuff. Look at the mechanics in this beam, the little pattern in his eyes there. I was studying that stuff hardcore. Looks pretty good in the camera. You can get down there like I was looking at it. Nice and close. Stuff like that stubble in his hair. But yeah, was it though? I'm not sure what you're asking about. Was it what? Hey D man, let's looking through some Richard Bennett today. He's drawing cool skeletons. Oh, it is Father's Day. I forgot all about that. Grateful Dead T-shirt he's got the guy in. Yeah, see, someone saying I assume that you could do that, but this is like 94, 95, and Photoshop was not. I mean, if it was available, they barely knew how to use it for anything, and I'm not sure it would have been in the hands of Richard Bennett at that point. I mean, we've had a copy machine. He's still doing most of this stuff the hard way. Yeah, you can reference photos, and yeah, you can use perspective grids and things like this, but yeah, see, it didn't come out until the late 90s, but the artwork was being generated. It took a few years. So, because he was doing it the hard way, and because there is so much crap, look at like the monitors and stuff like that, to pull that out of your mind and get all the perspective right and everything else. Oh my gosh, it was, yeah, around 98 it was available. Like I said, this was 94, 95. It probably came out in 98. Yeah, there's probably ways you could do it. I don't think I don't think he had access to it. Not enough to get in there and play with curvilinear stuff. I don't know. I could be wrong. I learned on Photoshop 4, and it would have been, I could have done it, but I don't know. There has to be a behind the scenes sort of trick to it, though, because, or he's just got mystic talents that I do not possess. That either one is possible. Yeah, well, these are J. Scott Campbell drawn. These are the Gen 13 characters, so I think he's kind of taken some influence from that in his portrayal a little bit, but I don't know. It looks like Richard to me. Yeah. Yeah. See, when I went to graphic design school, um, when I went to graphic design school, they had the very first, the very first version of Adobe Illustrator available, and none of the instructors knew how to use it. But they'd let you borrow the manual, and you could take it home and read it if you wanted. I'm like, jeez, real nice guys. So yeah, I went back to school to learn Photoshop stuff. When I learned Photoshop 4, and then I'm just sort of solo mission since then with my digital stuff. Yeah, 96. Yeah, that's about when I went back and learned the Photoshop stuff. Would have been 96, maybe 98. I don't know. It's hard to remember. It was a long time ago. Great stuff by Richard. These crazy backgrounds that he's got going on. His stuff with this staircase back here. Just crazy amounts of detail back there. I like the rendering of this dude's face. So yeah, as a young inker, I was studying this stuff pretty intently. You know, and it was the image era. So uh, you know, you had a saying as an inker back then: the more lines, the better. They never minded. Pencils never minded if you added stuff, as long as what you were adding made sense. Now here, I don't know whether anybody's noticed this or not. Okay, this is from Wildcats number 8. Rob, are you out there still? Pay attention, man. Yeah, look at this one. Guess who makes a cameo in Wildcats number 8 on this two-page spread? Yeah, that is an old Beavis and Butthead right there in the back. Butthead's still wearing his ACDC t-shirt, and he's lost his hair. Yeah, that's Beavis and Butthead back. So yeah. Now I don't know whether Jim threw that in or whether that's Richard's edition or what, but I always thought that was kind of fun. Um, More great stuff from Richard. Some of this great beard stubble that he does. I still think of that when I do beard stubble. The pose looks familiar. It's possible, but these are generally drawn poses, so maybe you saw somebody swiping Jim. That would surprise me. Some great inks going on. Yeah, Superman and Lois are in the background too. Of one of those shots on that boat. I think Cyclops and Jean are on the boat, if I'm not mistaken. Richard was really pulling out all the stops. This is dry brush down here, I think. He just wasn't afraid to pull out anything. All this stuff going on in this dude's coat right here. Get you up there real close to that. Crazy amounts of detail going in there. I don't know. I don't pay attention to Eric Larson's politics too much. I stopped paying attention to his book when his book started to slide. The way Richard did this fur going on around dragon's jacket. Oh yeah, I don't think I don't know if I've seen that one or not. If I have, it's been a while. That and things like that'll get go right over my head, and I'll be like, "What?" Somebody will have to tell me later. Like, oh, a nice two pager from some source book thing. Some great combination of anatomy and mechanics going on there that they're playing with. Hey, Nadius Art, how's it going? Mm, oh, yeah. People that were fans of the Deathblow Wolverine miniseries that they put out, where Richard did the finishes over Aaron Weisenfeld. I guess for whatever reason, um, they decided to go with a different style. But this is the promo that they did for it. And it had a fully detailed Richard Bennett sort of finish to it, like you would normally see out of his stuff. I always kind of wish they had done the series this way. I love that Wolverine. That Wolverine's fantastic. The Deathblow too. Uh, oh yeah, it's a triple. I forgot about that because you got Deathblow and he's got a whole gun over here. The gatefold pin up. More pages from that dragon issue. It did have a different sort of look to it. To me, it looked like a very Miller, Frank Miller sort of looking, influenced Wolverine. I think, yeah, Richard Bennett stuff. Big Stormwatch pinup, 2-pager. Just the level of detail going on, all this rendering and stuff going on in his legs. Insane amounts of cross hatching. Like, expression on this dude's face. Great guns too. Yeah, I think a lot of that isn't zigzag. It's you do one set of lines and then you go back and do the other set of lines. In some cases, the only guy that I knew that could do the official wiggle was Scott Williams. Everybody else like had one that sort of cheated. Some more of that great texture that he's using for the burr. Yeah, I was all over this stuff as a young inker, trying to learn textures. Any kind of stuff like this that you could sneak in like this was guaranteed to make your penciler happy. I think I showed the pencils to this last time. Some great stuff going on that cover. Yeah, like I said, everybody hates this issue, but yeah, I really thought the artwork to this one was great. I mean, I could see why Eric Larson didn't like it. I could see why Savage Dragon fans didn't like it because it's a big change in tone from the book that they're used to. But yeah, I thought the artwork going on was just tremendous. There were drips in the water and stuff. Like coming in and doing stuff with white, dry brushy sorts of textures and things like this. So yeah, I was studying Richard quite a bit. What have we got in this envelope? It's more Richard Bennett stuff, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is more brass stuff, looks like. Here, let's, before we dig into that, Let me do a little straightening up here, guys. You know what? I think we're going to have to do this another time. I said I was going to live stream for about an hour, and I've been live streaming for about an hour. Oh, not quite. I guess we can get into a little bit of it. Okay. Just don't want this blowing all over Hell's Half Acre. Yeah, the tech. That's the other thing I was studying a lot. Any kind of textures that I could lift off of anybody uh, that was better than I was, which at that point in the studio was everybody. So yeah, I was trying hard to improve my craft and to do something uh, that would pencilers would respond positively to. You know. Um, let's see, here we go. There's a great looking tech back here in this helicopter. Drawing any portion of real helicopters. Oh, the explosion. I'm talking about that one. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't find the other half of this page. Um, some of these things have gotten out of order over the course of time. I don't have them married up to each other necessarily. Great animals and stuff too. Like I couldn't draw this stuff to save my life, man. More cool rendering going on, the clothing and stuff. Great tech. Yeah, the GI Joe style helicopter explosion. Yeah, got a 2-page spread here from Brass. Some great stuff that probably printed like crap going on in the moon. Shades and tones. That's all Zipatone the hard way. Back with the old plastic overlay Zipatone, which they strongly discouraged you from using at Wildstorm because they would go to scan it and then it would leave moiré patterns on the scans. And I guess that made it a real pain for them to color. But I guess Richard just ignored all that and used it anyway. Whenever I could too and get away with it, I would ignore that and use it anyway. Yeah. I'm going to have to wrap this up this time, guys. We'll have a part 3 because there's a lot of this stuff left, you know? And I'll find some more. But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by to take a look at it with me. We'll do this again next Sunday, right around 9 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Standard Time. All right. So thanks. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.